All right, good evening, everybody. This is Shelbyville weather, and we're live due to a severe thunderstorm warning that has just come out here for pretty much all of Bedford County. I'm gonna go ahead and get this live stream or the chat up and running here so that I can see y'all's comments and questions, stuff like that. So we have a severe thunderstorm that's coming out of Marshall County here. You can see it pretty well on the radar. So this is the severe thunderstorm here over central, maybe western portions of Marshall County. And this will be pushing eastward towards everyone in Bedford County. So let me go ahead and see how fast this storm is moving. So it's moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. And again, the main threat here with this storm is going to be 60 mile per hour wind gusts and the potential for some quarter-sized hail apparently as well with what the Weather Service is saying here. So this warning does go all the way up north of Murfreesboro, and of course all the way down here to the Moore-Lincoln County line. We'll have to see if Huntsville decides to put out a warning here for Moore County over the next few minutes. I saw in the chat room earlier they were talking about putting one out, but I don't think that they've put that out yet. So they're dealing with some confirmed tornadoes down in North Alabama, thankfully south of our area. So they're probably keeping a close eye on the storm here as well for Moore County, and of course I am as well. So again, severe thunderstorm warning only includes Bedford County right now, but it includes everyone in Bedford County. So if you're in Unionville, Rover, Shelbyville, Normandy, Wartrace, Bell Buckle, Flat Creek, Pleasant Grove, Wheel, Bedford, everybody in Bedford County is included in this severe thunderstorm warning. Now, let's go over here to the velocity data, and we can look and see what this storm is doing. You can see the worst of the winds here. I'm looking off the Huntsville radar site since it's the closest radar to us. And the worst of the winds are going to be these brighter green colors here. Coming through Lewisburg and then up towards Chapel Hill. And this is all moving towards the northeast at 55 miles per hour. I do also want to know that there is an area of rotation here that I'm watching very closely. This is going to come around Cornersville, maybe just north of Petersburg in southern Marshall County over the next little bit. But right now, the Weather Service is saying that they think that there's not enough instability or storm food, whatever you want to call it, there at the surface to support tornadic development, which is good news. So I'm going to keep a close eye on it just to make sure, because these storms can be a little wacky sometimes, as we've seen the past few days. So we're going to keep a close eye on it. But for right now, I think the main concern here is going to be damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. But of course, we're going to keep an eye for any, big time circulation signatures to show up on the radar, because we're in Middle Tennessee and we always need to be alert for tornadic development when we have these severe weather days. So right now, really just waiting for the worst of the storm to get into Bedford County. Some heavier rain here is about to move into a northern or northwestern Bedford County, excuse me. So Rover, Unionville, you're going to get this. You're probably already getting some pretty good size or some pretty good rain, especially on the western side of 41A. But this will continue to push in, and you're going to get the heaviest rain first as it usually happens. Y'all are the guinea pigs, so you'll get to tell us what happens first with this storm, as it comes through. So let's look at the Chapel Hill camera, and we can see what this storm is doing here. So the temperature is 64 degrees and dew point of 59.9, but you can see the wind is blowing the rain around pretty good. Lots of heavy, heavy rain. Let's see what the wind is gusted to. Looks like there's a gust of 10 there. So, not super, super windy, but, this is a severe thunderstorm, so you definitely don't want to be outside watching this come in. Want to be taking your severe weather safety precautions, which doesn't mean you have to be in an interior room or anything like that, like you would be sheltering from a tornado, but you definitely still want to be, inside and away from windows as this storm comes in from the west. So let's go ahead and do a storm track on, now I can't really do the whole storm, so we're going to just have to take this one little go at a time here. But for the southern section of the storm, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So this will be Wheel, about 15 minutes, Bedford, 18 minutes, Shelbyville Mills, 23 minutes, El Bethel, 23 minutes, Shelbyville, 26 minutes, Flat Creek, 27 minutes, Bottle Hollow, 30 minutes, War Trace, 33 minutes, Bug Scuffle, 34 minutes, Bell Buckle, 34 minutes, Courtner, 35 minutes, Normandy, 36 minutes, Flowertown, 37 minutes, and Tullahoma, 38 minutes. So we're starting to get into Coffee County here. So, just heads up later on down the line, in western Coffee County, you're going to be getting this storm here in 30 to 45 minutes. So that'll be something to keep in mind. Now, for some reason, I'm not getting the comment section to show up on my iPad, so I'm going to have to switch over to my phone so I can see the comments here. So give me just a second here while I get this up on my iPad or on my phone, so that I can look at y'all's questions and comments you may have, just to make sure I'm not missing anything important. Okay, I can see the comments now, which is good. So I'm going to pull up the chat room, the NWS chat room on my iPad, so I can keep a close eye on that, just in case we need to keep an eye on that. No, there is not a tornado on the ground. There's not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. There is no tornado warning in effect at this time. No one has said anything about a tornado. So let me go ahead and do the storm track on the northern part of the storm here. This is coming through Unionville and Rover right now. So let's pull this out 55 miles an hour here. And Halls Mill, 3 minutes. Anchor Mill, 6 minutes. Bell Buckle, 18 minutes. War Trace, 19 minutes. Noah, 27 minutes. Lakewood Park, 31 minutes. New Union, 34 minutes. So, again, like I was saying, we're going to be having the... Yeah, that'll be good. Thank you. Yeah, I've got a big screen now to watch the chat room on, which will be good here. So, again, Western Bedford County, you have probably 30, 45 minutes here before it gets to you, and then, if you're in Eastern Bedford County, so that would be Bell Buckle, War Trace, Normandy, you have about 20 minutes. Shelbyville, 10 minutes, and then Wheel and Unionville and Pleasant Grove, you're about to get it here. Beech Grove, you're going to see this here in about 30 minutes or so. Heavy rain and wind in Lewisburg currently. Thank you, Mr. Billy. Power just flashed in Unionville. Yeah, I mean, power outages are definitely going to be an issue here over over the duration of this event, especially if we are getting some of those severe wind gusts. There's a chance that we could be dealing with the scattered power outages. Does anyone have any questions about this severe weather threat? We're having some technical difficulties over here trying to get this other iPad set up, so I apologize for that. But we're, this isn't professional by any stretch of the imagination, other than the meteorology advice and radar interpretations I give is very professional. But other than that, we're just here to to give you some good information. So I can see the chat room again, which is good. So no, there's no tornado in Unionville. This is a damaging straight line wind threat here with this line. I do not see a tornado. I do not see any tornadic circulations of any kind here over Bedford County. So yes, after this line clears, we'll be done with the severe weather threat. Now, one thing that we do have to keep in mind is that it's probably going to be a little bit before we can give the all clear here for Moore County, especially maybe even Southern Coffee County, because so this line here is going to skirt kind of like this off to the northeast, and then that'll leave Moore County, Lynchburg, maybe even Hillsborough, without seeing anything yet. And then that's when this, I guess I'll have to come on down here and we can see this. This is when this storm will come into play for potentially southern Moore County, over the next hour, I would say. But I mean, I definitely think that we can get done with this severe weather threat before 12:30 or 1. Especially in Moore County. But yeah, if you're in Bedford County, I would give this line a chance to clear, and then we'll reassess what the radar looks like, and hopefully we can be good to go here for the rest of the night. We're driving down Pepper Hill going to Hawes Mill Road. So what kind of weather? This is a severe thunderstorm warning. If you're just now tuning in with us here, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for all of Bedford County for 60 mile per hour wind gusts. 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Demetria, that depends on where you're at. So the tornado or the tornadic storm here over Florence is probably going to move to the south of Bedford and Coffee County, but it will be something to watch for Moore County. So if you're in Moore County, keep an eye on it. And I'll be keeping an eye on it for you too. But if you're in Bedford or Coffee, I don't think that storm is going to be much of a threat. But it's still something I'm going to be watching. Pouring rain in Unionville now. Is anyone seeing some gusty winds here over western Bedford County? I'm going to look at the velocity data again here. It's pretty messy. I'm not seeing anything too concerning. We do have, this is where the worst of the winds are going to be, right here where the brightish green colors are at. Some 60 mile per hour wind gusts cannot be ruled out. I'm going to go here to the Lewisburg camera just to see what they gusted at it looks like they got up to 18.8 miles an hour. So not even, that's not even JV severe thunderstorm warning criteria, the special weather statements. So, especially inside the line, there could be a few areas that see gusty winds up to 60, but I don't think the 60 mile per hour wind gusts are necessarily a widespread threat across this line. Okay, so just isolated instances of 60 mile per hour wind gusts will be possible. So okay, so Julian in Unionville is saying there's a lot of wind and heavy rain. Not much going on in Flat Creek. Yeah, it'll be in Flat Creek here in the next 10, 15 minutes or so. Yeah, I've been keeping a close eye on the observed tornado in Florence, or just north of Florence, um, but I haven't seen anything else about it since I got on. Um, so power flickered at Bell Buckle on the west side of 231. Thank you, Chandler. So we're still having, some power flickering issues. There could be some isolated power outages, across areas this line moves through. I am noting a little bit of a lightning jump here with this storm, with this severe thunderstorm over Unionville moving into Rover. Um, so might have a little bit of quick intensification happening here. Lightning is always a jump in lightning is always a good indicator of, the strength of a storm increasing a little bit. But, that's just something to keep in mind. I mean, the strength, if this storm is strengthening, you might be actually getting winds of 60 miles an hour compared to, the 18 miles an hour that they're seeing in Marshall County. But I really don't think that we'll see much over maybe 40 or 50 within this complex. Only rain so far in Wheel. Thank you, Kristen. A lot of lightning in Hall's Mill. Thank you. War Trace and Bell Buckle. You'll get it here in the next little bit. So let's go ahead and do another storm track here. I'm going to track this out into Coffee County. We're going to have to do two sections here. I turned on the wrong tool, excuse me. So this is going out into time a little bit, moving at if the storm is moving at 55 miles an hour. So Shelbyville Mills, 18 minutes. Shelbyville, 20 minutes. Flat Creek, 20 minutes. Bottle Hollow, 24 minutes. Ross, 26 minutes. War Trace, 28 minutes. Haley, 28 minutes. Bug Scuffle, 28 minutes. Courtner, 30 minutes. Normandy, 30 minutes. Flowertown, 31 minutes. Tullahoma, 32 minutes. Ovaca, 33 minutes. Noah, 37 minutes. Rutledge Falls, 37 minutes. Manchester, 41 minutes. New Union, 42 minutes. And Ragsdale, 45 minutes. So that's a few of the community timings along the south end of the line. And then we'll go on up here to the north end. And this will be mostly for, timing for Bell Buckle, War Trace, Beech Grove, Lakewood Park, the areas like that. So let's put this in at 55 miles an hour. So we have a Decent in 6 minutes, Bell Buckle in 10 minutes, Noah 20 minutes. And that's the end of our list there. Nat Hill, 34 minutes. Not sure if that's it. I think that is in northern Coffee County. Is it? Do y'all pronounce that Hoodoo? I'm not really sure how you pronounce that community name there in Coffee County. But so, like I was saying a little bit ago, we still have a little bit of time left here if you're in a Coffee County for this storm to get to you, and you're not under a severe thunderstorm warning at this time. This severe thunderstorm warning is only for Coffee County or for Bedford County, excuse me. But we're going to keep we're going to be keeping a close eye on the on this storm as it continues to move towards Coffee County. So let's go ahead and look at the velocity data here. Now this is a little bit more of a zoomed in view on Bedford County specifically. And we can see that the worst of the winds here are in green, circling in green, and then moving off towards the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So this is where, the most likely chance of having some 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts would be. I'm not seeing much of a hail threat, especially quarter-sized hail. The hails went down to, I think that would be nickel-sized hail. I'm not exactly sure what the exact size comparison would be to 0.75 inches. But needless to say, I don't think there's a severe, hail threat with this line. I also do want to mention that they have issued a flood advisory for Bedford, Coffee, and Marshall County. So let me talk about that for just a second, since this storm is not really doing anything crazy right this second. So National Weather Service Doppler radar was indicating heavy rainfall due to thunderstorms. Minor flooding is expected to begin shortly in the advisory area. Some locations that will experience flooding include Shelbyville, Lewisburg, Manchester, Tullahoma, Wartrace, Bell Buckle, Normandy, Deason, Ross, and Beech Grove. So could have some localized flooding issues as this line comes through. And unfortunately, we have a lot more to get through tonight. Looking back to the west here on the radar, there is a lot of rain that we're going to have to get through even after the severe weather threat clears. So that's something to keep in mind if you're going to be out driving, early tomorrow morning. Just be aware that there, especially the low water crossings, Buckscuffle Road and Higgins Road around Wartrace, and there's a few other low water crossings. Mullins Mill Road is another one in the eastern part of Bedford County, at least. So the usual flood prone areas. Just be aware if that's a part of your commute to church or anything like that in the morning. So winds are gusty, and it's raining in Unionville on Roy Moore Road. But it's calmed down some. Thank you for the report. Bedford, you're probably going to get on it here any minute now. The worst of the storm is just off to your west in a wheel, so it's going to be coming in here in just a second for you in Bedford. Can you track the storm coming to Lynchburg? Yes, let me go ahead and do that. So we don't have any warnings in effect for Lynchburg, Moore County currently, but I am watching some storms here moving out of North Alabama. I'll go ahead and circle them. Hold on, I forget that this radar app is a little finicky with the way it projects onto the live stream software. So this is the storm that will most likely impact Moore County, over the next hour or so. And these are all pushing off towards the northeast at 55 miles an hour. So let's go ahead and track this out here over Lincoln and then into Moore County. And this is just moving at 55 miles an hour. And of course, timing could change. These storms move up, slow down sometimes. But I'm going to have to scroll down pretty far here to even get close to some of the communities in Moore County. So Fayetteville in 54 minutes, Petersburg 55 minutes, Kelso 59 minutes, Flintville 61 minutes, Mulberry 61 minutes, Boonville 63 minutes, Lynchburg 69 minutes. So we're looking at probably right around an hour to an hour and 10 minutes with the heaviest activity coming into Moore County. So just keep that in mind. If you're in Moore County, we still have a little bit of time, left to keep an eye on the skies and stay weather aware. And even, folks in Coffee County wondering where this storm is. There's a still calm on Frank Martin Road. Thank you, Kevin. Yes, thank you for the kind words, Mr. Leverett. Yes, Florence, Alabama did have a confirmed tornado on the ground. I'm not sure if it's still on the ground. We can go over here and look at it real quick, I guess. Yeah, I can definitely see the rotation here. Now, this is not in Bedford County. This is not anywhere near our area, but these storms are tracking towards Lincoln and Moore County over the next hour or so. But there's the rotation couplet there, and then we can look at the correlation coefficient. This is the debris tracker, that they have on the news stations that they like to talk about, and there is a little bit of a lowering with the correlation coefficient, but I don't think that's enough to be tornado debris. But also, it takes a pretty strong tornado to see debris that far up, as far as the radar is shooting up there over Florence, over there near Florence, Alabama. So the worst of the wind and heavy rainfall will be coming into Shelbyville here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Hearing thunder and seeing lightning in Shelbyville. Thank you, Amanda. Heavy rain and plenty of loud thunder in Midland, Fosterville area. Thank you, Tori. Storm has passed Clay's house with no tornado spotted. That is great news. That is great news down there in the Quad City weather area of northwest Alabama. So that's good news for them down there in around Florence. Just started by the airport. Thank you for the report. So zooming in here on Bedford County specifically, the worst of the rain is right along the 231 corridor. So western portions of Shelbyville, you're going to be getting on this here momentarily. And then Pleasant Grove, you're about to get in on it too. Snell Road, New Center Church Road, and the Bell Buckle, War Trace, Normandy, Ross, the usual suspects for the final push here at Bedford County will come in last. No, there's no tornadoes that have been spotted in Shelbyville. This is a straight line wind threat here in Bedford County. This is a straight line winds. Straight line winds. No tornadoes. No, nothing like that. This looks like a straight line wind threat here, and I'll tell you why. I like to give little science lessons here. But you can see this pretty well, actually, looking at some of the surface stations here. Now, I will say it is interesting that okay, never mind. That's still out of the north. So the outflow boundary that came through from the south earlier, or came through from the north earlier, has kind of settled down right in here. And you can tell that very easily with these surface stations. You can see this is a one in Winchester, 68 degree temperature, 61 degree dew point. You can see it there. I circled a few. I'm going to circle Tullahoma's station now. And then Shelbyville's is right up here. But you can see the wind barbs on the surface stations. And this is showing the wind direction and the wind speed. So at the location of the station, which would be the airports, So this is the one in Fayetteville too, right here. So the wind is coming out of the north in um, the wind is coming out of the north here with these surface stations north of this line that I've drawn. And the little line there at the top, that means 10 knots. So we're seeing winds of 10 knots out of the north at a lot of these stations, and Tullahoma is 5 knots out of the north. But you can see the location of the boundary because the winds are coming out of the north from the top, and then down here south south of the boundary in North Alabama, you have winds coming out of the south. So Huntsville, the executive airport there outside of Meridianville, 5 knots out of the south. Huntsville International, you have 15 knots out of the south. Decatur Airport, right in southern Limestone County, out of the south at 5 knots. And you can see that, well, you can't really see it on your screen, but I can see it well on my screen. So just, just take my word for it, I guess, that we have the winds out of the south here in South Alabama, in North Alabama, and then winds out of the north in southern Tennessee, and the boundary is right in that general area. So with the winds out of the north in southern Tennessee, that's bringing down some of the cooler air and really keeping us at bay. With the great severe weather threat, in my opinion, this could have been a whole different story. This severe weather event definitely could have been a real different story around here today if we would have had just a little bit more instability and that outflow boundary didn't make it this far south. So that's great that we had the outflow boundary move through earlier, because it really helped our severe weather threat in my opinion. So tornado warning. There is a tornado warning in Ardmore, Tennessee, I believe, or Ardmore, Alabama. Yeah. So it's in effect for Ardmore, Alabama, but not for Ardmore, Tennessee. Because right there on State Route 53, the state line right there runs right through the center of that street. It's a really cool little town to visit down there in Giles County. But there is on the Alabama side a tornado warning, but not on the Tennessee side. So the heaviest rain is falling over the 231 corridor pretty much all the way from Murfreesboro down to Shelbyville right now. So I definitely would not want to be driving along 231 right now. Blinding heavy rainfall. And of course, we're still watching for the potential for some damaging straight line wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Although the overall threat, I'm not expecting widespread 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts, but a few locations could see some damaging winds, maybe a tree or two topple over, stuff like that, and spotty power outages. I am not going to be. Yes, the tornado will be heading towards Shelbyville, or towards Fayetteville, excuse me, not Shelbyville. The tornado is not heading towards Shelbyville, heading towards Fayetteville if it maintains its strength. It is moving in that general direction, maybe just south of Fayetteville, but we're, that's something to keep an eye on, especially if you're in Lincoln or southern Moore County and into Franklin County. I'd be keeping an eye on that tornado warned storm coming out of Alabama, just to be on the safe side. I'm not going to be giving any advice on whether it's okay to go to sleep. That's your call, your decision. If you want to go to sleep, then go to sleep. If you want to stay up and watch the storms, then watch the storms. That's just what you want to do. We're all adults here, so we'll make that decision for ourselves. Pelham, you're going to see this probably in the next 2 to 3 hours. I will say the line has seemed to slow down a little bit, which is It just has to be difficult, and slow down. But I'm still keeping a close eye on these storms just in case. But even the lightning, I haven't heard very much thunder. So the lightning and thunder is not really that impressive with these storms here. I'm not too impressed. I'm not too impressed at all. Chapel Hill is in the clear. Yes, Chapel Hill is in the clear. Tornado warned storm. Any issues for Coffee? I think Coffee's too far north for the tornado warned storm. And not only are you too far north with the track, but also, like I was saying earlier with the boundary, I think you're too far north of the boundary. So I don't think we'll have any issues there in Coffee County with that tornado warned storm. Is this going to stay north of Normandy area? I would say no. You're going to get some heavy rainfall over the next 30 minutes or so, and this severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Normandy for the next 11 minutes at least. So that's why I haven't gave anyone the all clear just yet, because we still have the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect. Super heavy rain in Bell Buckle by the airport. Thank you for the report, Miss Jennifer. Thank you for the stars, Rocco. The thunder is over near Unionville. Thank you, Tori. Bedford, what it like? Where in Bedford are you asking for, Jetta? I can't really answer your question if you don't tell me where. I need a little bit more information than that. Do you think they will end our tornado watch early? Yes, Miss Candy. The tornado watch should be canceled early. Especially before 3 a.m. But we just have to get through these storms, and then it might take a little bit of time before we can, give the all clear here. We'll no, there's no tornado coming. No tornado coming to Shelbyville. No tornado coming to Manchester. No tornado. I would even say Tullahoma, you don't have a tornado coming. I can't say that for certain for Lynchburg right now. Just keep an eye out in Lynchburg just a little bit longer here with this tornado warned storm that's trying to scoot up from Alabama. But I think if you're in Bedford and Coffee County at least, I don't think there's a tornado threat. This evening we're just looking at gusty straight line winds. Yes, no tornado for Shelbyville. No tornado for Shelbyville. We're not looking at that tonight. There's no tornado in Shelbyville. Yeah, I usually have a guy in here that helps me out with the pinned comments. I guess he already went to bed for the night. So I'm having to just try to keep everybody updated on the pinned comments do help a lot. I do agree with you, but with it being an overnight event like this, it's hard to get people to stay up and help me with this kind of stuff. Yes, thank you, Caleb. Thank you. Yes, he told the tornadoes not to come. So there you go. And thank you for the stars too. Wind and rain picking up in Shelbyville. Center Grove, Vestal, you'll have a little bit of time there before it gets to you. So, ask me again when I'm on for a warning in Moore County. I have a feeling I'm going to be on for a warning in Moore County. So the National Weather Service has decided to push out this tornado warning here for Giles and Lawrence County. This is the strongest storm of the hour. just south of our area here in Giles and Lincoln County. Again, if you're in Bedford County, there's no reason to be concerned about this storm. I'm talking about this storm for our Moore County listeners, okay, our Moore County watchers, because this tornado warned storm is going to be moving towards Moore County over the next little bit. And let's actually do an updated track here. And I know I have some people from Lynchburg probably following along here with us too. So we'll go ahead and do this. Let me see sorry I'm scrolling around so much. I'm trying to find how fast it's moving. So it's moving east at 30 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. And also a new severe thunderstorm warning has just come out for Coffee County and portions of Coffee County, at least I should say. But let me do a storm track on this real quick, and then we'll get on that severe thunderstorm warning there for Coffee County. This is moving at 30 miles an hour, not 55. So these storms have slowed down a little bit. But let's go ahead and look at this. Ardmore, 41 minutes. Delrose, 50 minutes. I don't know if anyone here has ever been to Delrose. I have before, but it's pretty down in there. Bellevue, 70 minutes. Park City, 72 minutes. Lincoln, 80 minutes. Flintville, 90 minutes. And then we're getting into the New Herman area, 90 minutes. Probably going to go south of New Herman. But Lynchburg, 105 minutes. So as the storm has slowed down a little bit, the timing has, pushed back a little bit more. So we're looking more like an hour to an hour and a half now for this storm coming into Moore County. So I would say any time between now and midnight, 12:30, just be prepared for my Moore County folks. Be prepared for this potential, tornadic storm to be pretty close to you there in Moore County. So let's go back up here and look at this severe thunderstorm warning that has just come out here for Bedford and Coffee County. So this will be taking the place of the severe thunderstorm warning that was once in effect for all of Bedford County. And this new warning is trimmed back a pretty good bit here, and just includes, if we're zooming down in here, Wartrace, Fairfield, Bell Buckle, just north of New Union, Pocahontas. Fudge Around, again, is on here. If you remember a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Fudge Around. It's back in the danger zone here tonight with this severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here in northern Coffee County. And Lakewood Park, again, and Beech Grove. Summitville is also included in this severe thunderstorm warning as well. And this is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts over the next little bit here. And then in Bedford County, Normandy, you're about to be canceled, about to say bye to the severe thunderstorm warning if you're in Normandy. But in Wartrace, we still do have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect, with the new one now in effect for the next hour and 3 minutes. I really do hope that we can get that out of here quicker, or I'm going to be talking a lot over the next little bit. I don't know if I have enough to talk about. We'll see. But yeah, there's Fudge Around again. We get to talk about old Fudge Around. I'm glad we get to talk about the fine folks up there in Fudge Around. We always like to keep them updated on the weather. So, heavy rain on Happy Valley Road. Thank you, Keith. Deckard, you need to be watching this severe tornado warn storm south of Pulaski. This will be moving towards your general area over the next hour or two. So be on the lookout. If you're in Moore, Lincoln, Franklin County, I cover Moore County, so I'll be keeping a close eye on this for my friends in Lynchburg and Moore County. But if you are in Franklin or Lincoln County, you need to be watching this storm very closely. I'll go ahead and circle it here in case you need to see it on the radar here. And this is moving off towards the east at 30 miles per hour, 30 miles an hour. So not very fast. It was moving a lot quicker here a little bit ago. Let's see how fast this severe thunderstorm is moving with this severe thunderstorm warning. We have, hold on, sorry. I'm looking through this quickly because I know what to look for a lot of times. Most of the time I know what to look for. I feel like an idiot right now trying to look at this quickly. I don't want to make y'all dizzy. I apologize for that. But moving east at 40 or northeast at 40 miles an hour. So we'll go ahead and take this out here over the rest of Coffee County at 40 miles an hour, not 30. So we have War Trace 2 minutes, NOAA 14 minutes, Hoodoo 19 minutes, Lakewood Park 22 minutes. I would say Beech Grove, it's about to hit you right now. And Fudge Around ain't going to be much behind Beech Grove up there. I'd say you have less than 5 minutes there in Fudge Around. So keep a close eye out up there. Hopefully my friends in Fudge Around are staying safe. So if you're in Shelbyville, you should be, just give me a little bit more time here. I don't think that there's anything else to be concerned about for the rest of the night, but just, stay with me for a little bit longer. Unionville and Rover and Wheel are definitely good to go for the rest of the night. So they're far enough north and west of the rest of the stormage that I think that they're definitely good to go for the rest of the night in Unionville and Rover. Yes, there is a tornado watch in Shelbyville, and there has been. They put out a tornado watch at 2 or 3 this afternoon, and we've been under one for a long period of time now. So the tornado watch continues until 3 a.m. They actually added a few counties here to the tornado watch. Cumberland and Putnam County in along the plateau up there. Got a little wind and rain by the horse show grounds. Yeah, does anyone have any reports from the storms that have come through so far? Was the wind fairly heavy? Was there there's a warning out now, but nowhere near us. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for us right now, Samantha. But the tornado warning is off to our south and west for the time being, anyway. Is it safe in El Bethel? Just give me a little bit of time there in El Bethel. Give me a little bit more time. Well, we'll go ahead and look at the overall big picture here. So we really have 2 stronger portions of this line of storms. This is round 2. So this is the second round of storms moving through. A little bit earlier than anticipated, which is good. So round 2, we have this first batch of stronger, severe thunderstorms way to the north. And then in this little pocket right here that extends from Shelbyville over to just north of Pulaski, we have, not really much going on. This is kind of the storms have fallen asleep here. I'm going to put some Z's on the map because these storms have kind of died off over here. So those storms are asleep, and then this one is wide awake, throwing a big old tantrum, like a toddler tantrum here. There's a lot of lightning with with this storm, with this tornado warned storm, which really does show its strength. And this is also moving off towards the east here, and may impact Moore County over the next little bit. So again, if you're in Moore County, you need to be sticking with me, or at least taking taking a good look at the radar, and keeping a close eye on things over the next little bit. So let's go and look at the Pulaski camera here, and see. It's probably too far north of the tornadic circulation, but we can at least see some of the wind gusts it has seen. It looks like 15 miles an hour is about the highest that we've seen there in Pulaski. So Park City and Fayetteville, you need to be prepared for a tornado warned storm to move into the area over the next 30 minutes. 30 minutes, okay? If you're in Fayetteville, Park City, down to the Hazel Green area, definitely be watching that closely. If you're in Manchester, you're just, looks like right now, just some heavy rainfall, because of course if you saw my beautiful drawing a minute ago, I had the circled this stormage right in here, and had the Z's. These storms are kind of sleeping. They gone to bed early. I wish I was asleep too, but these storms are asleep, not really doing much. And then we have the stronger storms here. My folks in Fudge around here might be getting in on a little bit of small hail. Huntsville radar site picking up on maybe some pea-sized hail here in Fudge around. So just give a heads up to my folks up there. And then of course there could still be some 60 mile per hour winds. But the Huntsville radar site, the beam is not in a great direction there to pick up on the worst of the winds. So not really going to spend too much time looking at the wind data on that particular storm. Hillsboro, you need to stay aware of the next little bit, because I really don't know what this storm plans to do. Even if you're in Tullahoma, I would keep a close eye. On, I forget, I'm too far. Yeah, there we go. I would keep a close eye on this storm if you're in Lynchburg, Tullahoma, Hillsboro, southern part of Coffee, and all of Moore County needs to be watching this tornado warned storm very closely over the next hour or so, just in case. I don't think that we're going to have much of an issue, but it's important to keep in mind that I'm watching the tornado warned storm over Giles County, southern Giles County. Wheel area, you should be good to go in the wheel area for the rest of the night. There's a lot of lightning here with this tornado warned storm to the north of the tornado warned storm, I should say, and that'll likely at least keep you up for a little bit, or might wake you up if you fell asleep. And that's moving generally off towards the northeast. So keep that in mind. You're going to have some rumbles of thunder and stuff over the next little bit, but I think the severe weather threat has mostly diminished there for western Bedford County. So Rover, Wheel, Deason, even Wheel, and I already said Wheel, Deason, Rover, Unionville. Those areas to the west and north, I think are good to go for the rest of the night. So again, if you're in Tullahoma, Lynchburg, Hillsboro, keep a close eye on this tornadic storm with me over the next little bit, just in case, because we've had a lot of close calls over the last few days. I'm not taking any chances here. Not taking any chances. No, I don't think that we'll have any issues in Mount Herman, New Herman, with this tornado warned storm. I mean, you're probably going to get some of the heavy rain and lightning out of it, but I don't think you're going to have any issues that far north in Moore County. That's just a general. When I say all of Moore County, it's fairly small, so that's just a general, um, consensus of all of the county. Um, Jeremy, this is more spin up tornado kind of stuff here, especially with the atmosphere we're dealing with. This is really just a spin up tornado threat. Flash flood concerns overnight tonight is definitely something that I need to mention. So thank you, Mr. Billy, for bringing that up. As we transition into the rest of the night, this line of storms will continue to push off towards the east, and then we're going to be left with a lot of moderate, light to moderate rain. Let me go ahead and pull up one of the other radars here. So, yeah, this is what we're dealing with for the rest of the night. You can see there is a lot of rain that we're going to be dealing with. So definitely some flash flooding concerns. I don't think it's necessarily a widespread threat of flash flooding, but it's something that you're going to want to keep in mind. Especially if you live in a flood or in a flood prone area. Um, just something to keep an eye on overnight tonight. Thank you, Miss Sharon, for the stars. Thank you, Athena. That's a beautiful name, by the way. I like that name. Yes, Shelbyville has been very, very lucky with these storms the past few days. Very, very lucky. Just started here in Flat Creek. Thank you, Miss Sharon, for the report. Yeah, there's some heavy rainfall moving pretty much through all of Bedford County here. And then we still have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect here for northern Coffee County. And again, this is pushing off towards the northeast at 30 to 45 miles an hour. So Fudge Around just got the worst of it, Lakewood Park, Beech Grove. So this is coming into Noah. And I'm zooming in real low here, but Noah and New Union, Mud Creek, Summitville, Morrison, of course, that's in Warren County. And then we have Pocahontas and Nat Hill and Hoodoo, places like that. You're going to be getting in on the worst of the storm here with the heavy rainfall and potential for some 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts over the next little bit. Manchester, you're going to be in a weird transition zone, kind of like our friends down here in Flat Creek, Normandy, Mount Herman area. You're going to be in a weird transition zone between the northern strongest part of the storm and the southern strongest part of the storm. So again, this is the southern one here. Kind of cuts off there on the screen, but the southern one is right there. S for south. And then the northern strongest part is right here. And then we have this very strange transition zone here between the northern strongest part of the storm and the southern strongest part of the line, I guess I should say. Right here in pretty much central Bedford County, and that'll continue to push off towards the east, towards Manchester and Asbury over the next little bit. But if you're in Tullahoma or Hillsboro, just continue to stick with me here or over the next little bit. I might take a little bit of a break depending on how these warnings end up shaking out. But continue to stick with me just in case, because I do want to keep a close eye here on this tornadic warned storm. And actually, I want to take a look here at the velocity couplet. This is moving into southern Middle Tennessee right now around Elkton, exit 1 off of I-65, and there's a pretty good velocity signature showing up here with the reds blowing towards the radar site and then the greens blowing away. Might be backwards. I don't know. It's 11:30 at night, so I really don't care that much about about being as specific as possible about that kind of stuff. But there is a little bit of rotation there with the reds and the greens being close together. And then looking at the velocity data, you can see the hook pretty well here on the radar. So you have the southerly winds wrapping around the system here. And then you have the rain cooled air wrapping out. And right in here is where you would get your tornado to form. And this is coming right into Elkton along the I-65 corridor. I think like exit 1 to mile marker 3 there on I-65. So let's keep that in mind if you're coming up in that area. But let's go over here to the Coffee County storm again. This warning is just for northern Coffee County. So if you're in Manchester, New Union, Tullahoma, Hillsborough, you're not included in this severe thunderstorm warning at least. But Pocahontas, Fudge Around, again, my friends in Fudge Around, still under this warning. Beech Grove, Noah, around the Deerfield Elementary School too, Summitville, you're still in this warning for the potential for some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and they actually just cut this warning back. So, okay, there's a tornado warning that is now in effect for all of Moore County. So a tornado warning is now in effect for everyone in Moore County. So this is for the tornado or the tornadic circulation here that I was just talking about. So it's time to transition from the severe weather threat here, or the severe damaging wind gust threat, into the tornado threat here over Moore County. So this tornado warning is in effect for an hour, and this is for a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado over Elkton, or 7 miles west of Ardmore, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So, and it also has times on here too, which would be great. So Fayetteville, you'll see this right at midnight. Lynchburg, you'll see this about 12:20 a.m. Okay, so this is for the tornado warning in Moore County. Now, let me be clear with this. The sirens are going off in Tullahoma. Yep, the sirens are going off in Tullahoma, but there is no direct tornado threat in Tullahoma, at least over the next hour. I mean, it's going to take a while for this storm to get into, to get up even close to Tullahoma. So just keep that in mind. I mean, there's not a warning for Tullahoma, especially if you're on the Coffee County side of Tullahoma. I wouldn't be taking I wouldn't be going to a shelter or anything like that. You're fine in Tullahoma. There's not a warning. But if you were in Moore County, so Lynchburg, Chestnut Ridge, Lois there on the south side of the county, Smiths Chapel, 5 Points area, around Ledford Mill too, you need to be taking your tornado precautions, okay? So this is going to be the center room of a building, lowest floor, of course, as always. So if you have a basement, that's the best place to be. But if you cannot be in a basement, then you need to be in in at least a center room on the lowest floor of a building and away from windows, okay? So here's our tornadic circulation here that I've been keeping a close eye on. It's started to move a little bit northward, I feel like, but we have the winds blowing towards the radar site in red, and I had them backwards a minute ago. But we have the winds blowing towards the radar site. No, I was wrong. The winds blowing away from the radar site in red, and the winds blowing towards the radar site in green. Okay, that's right. So this is where the tornadic circulation would be. And it's not even into Lincoln County yet. This is still in Giles County. So this warning goes out in time, a pretty good while, okay? But this is, a fairly tight circulation here over southern Giles County. And I'm actually going to look at the velocity or the debris tracker, as the news stations would call it here. I'm not seeing anything that lines up perfectly with the circulation. So I'm not going to say that there's a tornado on the ground right now, but there's still something, something that you need to keep in mind. If you're in Fayetteville, if you're in Lynchburg, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now because of this tornado warning. Okay. So they went confirmed based on the report of power flashes on the tornado warning. So, okay, no, it's radar indicated. It's not confirmed. Okay, which is good news. So I was looking at the chat room and it looked like they were. Yeah, the Tullahoma, the sirens are going off, but you are not under a tornado warning if you're even if you're in the Franklin or Coffee County side of Tullahoma, you are not under a tornado warning. The tornado sirens will go off in Tullahoma because one of the sirens is located on the campus of Motlow, and Motlow is in Moore County. So if there's a tornado warning in Moore County for the Motlow campus, then all the sirens will sound in the system. Okay. So keep that in mind. There is not a tornado warning in effect for Tullahoma proper, but if you're in Moore County, you are under this tornado warning and you need to be taking your tornado precautions at this time. What about the cell coming through about 3 a.m.? There won't be any more severe threat after this line clears. The severe weather threat will be over after this line clears. I'm actually hearing some distant thunder, and that might be the storm down to our south. Manchester, you should be good to go with this storm. Tullahoma and Hillsborough need to be watching the storm closely. But I think that if you're in Manchester, you're going to be good to go with this tornadic storm here to the south for Moore County. And again, everyone in Moore County is under this warning. So it doesn't matter where you are in Moore County, where you are, you need to be, taking your tornado precautions at this time. This is for Lynchburg, Chestnut Ridge, around Smith's Chapel, Ledford Mill, Lois, all of Moore County is under this tornado warning. And honestly, I haven't seen a warning polygon drawn quite like that in a while. But this is definitely a dangerous storm. So if you're in Lincoln County, if you're in Moore County, you need to be seeking shelter and treating this, like a tornado is on the ground, because one could drop at any moment, even if one is not on the ground at this exact moment. Okay, so here's the tornadic circulation. It's still hovering right there around the south of Pulaski and Giles County. Really hasn't come out of Giles County yet into Lincoln County. But you had the reds blowing away from the radar, the greens blowing towards the radar site, and then right here would be where your tornado would form. And there's actually a storm chaser here on the map that I see that's moving up towards that storm cell. I can't show the storm chasers on the live stream due to copyright infringement stuff, but they're, I don't know. It's noisy. I'm going to go ahead and I really don't think that's a tornado. Yeah, that doesn't line up well. So still doesn't look like it's on the ground from the debris tracker, or the correlation coefficient, if you want to use the correct term there. I'm not seeing any values that scream to me that a tornado is on the ground. So let me go ahead and look at the Huntsville chat room. So they're saying that they're monitoring 2 areas of rotation within the tornado warning. The first is near Elkmont, with the second Lincoln is in Lincoln County near Delrose. So let me go ahead. I, I'm having a hard time seeing the two areas of rotation, if I'm being completely honest. This really only looks like one area to me, but it's a tornado. A tornado warning is a tornado warning is a tornado warning. Okay, so if you are in the tornado warning, which is everyone in Lincoln and Moore County. If you are in Lincoln or Moore County, you need to be taking your tornado precautions at this time. So Tullahoma is not in the clear. You were not under a tornado warning if you were in the Coffee or Franklin County side of Tullahoma, but if you are on the Moore County side of Tullahoma, you are under the tornado warning. So another weird situation that we deal with a lot here in the Tullahoma area with the tornado sirens. The sirens are going off in Tullahoma, but there's not an immediate threat of a tornado in Tullahoma, but just something to keep an eye on. There's a lot of rain falling right now. The atmosphere is probably getting worked over pretty good in Tullahoma proper. I think in Shelbyville you should be good to go here over the next little bit. I think we're going to be in the clear here in Shelbyville very, very shortly. And we're still continuing to monitor this severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to turn away from the tornado warning for just a second because the tornado warned storm is still a pretty good ways away from Moore County. So I'm going to turn away from the tornado warning for just a second and come up here to the severe thunderstorm warning in northern Coffee County. Thank you. Hold on, I'm going to take a water break. I had to take a water break. My throat was getting dry after talking so much. Again, if you're in northern Coffee County, right along the State Route 53 corridor is where the worst of the storms are right now. But I believe that it's not really a great severe weather threat. So if you're in Morrison or McMinnville, just watch out that there are some stronger storms that are moving on in to the area. But Manchester, you're in that weird transition zone between the top line and the bottom line. So I really don't think that you're gonna get much out of this storm system, minus some heavy rainfall and maybe some lightning and thunder. But there's really not even much of that, in Lynch or in Manchester. So let me look in the chat room one more time here to make sure I'm not missing anything crazy. But Miss Kate is saying that there's two areas of rotation within the tornado warning. The first tornado warning, or the first circulation is near Elkmont, with the second in Lincoln County near Delrose. So that's what the Weather Service in Huntsville is saying about this tornado warning. There's nothing to worry about anywhere. There's nothing to worry about anywhere, and I say that in confidence because there's nothing to be worried about when it comes to storms. I used to be very, very concerned with storms. I used to have bad storm anxiety when I was a child, and just learning about the weather really helped me out a lot. So I mean, there's no reason to be worried if you were anywhere. I would be keeping a close eye on things and getting to my shelter if I'm in Moore County. But I wouldn't be worried. I would just keep an eye on, just watch here. I'm going to talk you all through this here in Moore County, and there's nothing to be worried about here. But I am. I guess getting a little concerned about this little signature I'm starting to see pop up on the Huntsville radar site here. Let me go ahead and change this over to the velocity view, And not sure, I think that's noise there. Is that noise? Yeah, yeah. Okay. We're going to come on back down here. So looking off of just the basic velocity data, this is where the tornadic circulation is, and it is moving into Lincoln County out of Giles County, right along the Ardmore Highway, State Route 110 corridor. So it'll be coming into Taft here in just a minute. Old Railroad Bed Road comes out of Madison County and into Taft there in Lincoln County, and then it's going to be moving into Park City over the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so if you're in Park City, if you're in Fayetteville, you need to be taking your tornado precautions at this time, okay? Because we do have that tornadic circulation that is moving in, and especially on the reflectivity view, you can see the circulation pretty well with this hook. So you had the warm, moist air wrapping into the storm on the north side, and then you have the rain-cooled air wrapping back around, and then right in here would be where the tornado could possibly form. And again, I'm not seeing any confirmation that this tornado is on the ground, but this is just something to keep in mind here, that there's a tornado warning in effect, and you'll want to be seeking shelter at this time if you're in Lincoln or Moore County. Winchester, you're going to be seeing this storm over the next hour, 45 minutes, hour 30, hour 45 minutes, I would say, maybe a little bit quicker than that. So this is moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour. I'm going to go ahead and draw out the where the tornadic circulation is, and we're going to draw this out at 45 miles per hour. So it looks like the worst of the tornadic circulation might go across southern Moore County, but let's see, Fayetteville, it says 18 minutes in Fayetteville. I don't know if that's right or not, but we'll go off that. So Fayetteville, 18 minutes, Kelso, 24 minutes, Mulberry, 28 minutes along Highway 50, Lexi, 37 minutes, Shady Grove, 33 minutes. Lynchburg is not on here, and I do not see Lois on here. So we're getting pretty low on community names out here, but hopefully y'all in Lincoln County or in Moore County can see some of these names and maybe find a community that's close to you there. I'm not super familiar with the towns in extreme southern Moore County. I need to really study up on a map a little bit more in southern Lincoln or southern Moore County, excuse me. But I expect it probably in the next 45 minutes or so there into southern Moore County. Yeah, there's definitely a nice hook showing up on the radar here, and this tornado warning remains in effect for all of Moore County for 44 more minutes. Okay, 44 additional minutes here on this tornado warning. So let me go ahead and since tornadic circulation is still not in Moore County, I can step away from the tornado warning for just a second, anyway. And just take a look at the bigger picture. So the severe thunderstorm warning for northern Coffee County has been canceled, okay? Has been canceled. So there are no other warnings in effect other than this tornado warning in Moore County. So if you are in Shelbyville, you are good to go for the rest of the night, okay? If you are in Bell Buckle, War Trace, you're good to go for the rest of the night. If you're in Wheel, you're good to go for the rest of the night. Pleasant Grove, give me just a little bit longer. Flat Creek, give me a little bit longer. Normandy, Ross, give me a little bit longer as well, just so we can keep a close eye on this severe thunderstorm here, because I really don't know how far of a northerly component it has. So just to be better safe than sorry, Just give me a little bit longer if you're in southern Bedford County and southern Coffee County, so Tullahoma. Manchester, give me a little bit longer too. And then Hillsborough as well. Asbury, give me a little bit longer. Arnold Air Force Base, places like that. Just so we can keep a close eye on this storm here to make sure we're not, prematurely giving the all clear to anybody. But Beech Grove is definitely in the clear. Okay, my buddy Keith is on here now. He's giving some good updates. Cowan, Alan, you're going to be seeing this in the next hour or so. The tornado warned storm in the next hour or two. So be watching the storms off to your west. Katie, this looks like a southern Moore County situation here with the tornadic circulation, but this tornado warning is for all of Moore County, okay? So it doesn't matter where you are in Moore County, we need to be taking our tornado precautions because this tornado warning is in effect for all of Moore County, okay? So new update on the tornado warning has come out. So we'll see what. Okay, yeah, that was update. They just clipped out the little part of Limestone County there in North Alabama. So tornado warning definitely remains in effect here for Moore and Lincoln County. And let's zoom in here on Lincoln County as this comes up on the 231, 431 corridor. And I'm not seeing any crazy rotation signatures. There might be a little something here up in the rain band inside the storm. That would be right in this area here. But I'm not really sure. That might be just noise. But sometimes you do have circulations that form on the north side of some stronger straight line wind gusts. So, that might be something. But and that would be more, central or northern Moore County if that's actually a tornadic circulation there. But it's gone in the next update. I don't even see it anymore. So it must have just been some noise. Which isn't a bad thing. So there's really not any circulation, that sticks out to me a lot with this tornado warning. It seems to me like the outflow boundary is starting to push out ahead of the storm, so you can kind of see the distinct light gray to dark gray ratio here, and it's kind of looks like, at least to me, that it's starting to push out ahead of the storm, which might be, this storm might be on a weakening trend here. Still a lot of lightning going on, and, still need to be in your tornado safe place if you're in Moore County, with this tornado warning in effect for another 40 minutes, unfortunately. I feel you there in Moore County here with this tornado warning. Coming down in Ross, thank you, Casey. Moore County never gets any tornado fun. Yeah, I mean, Rick, with it being such a small county, it's hard for a tornado to drop down, with a lot of times it's the bigger counties that get, the most tornadoes, or even the bigger states, because Texas has the most tornadoes, in the United States. But you know why? Because, Texas is the biggest state in the continental United States. So, that it's just land mass has a lot to do with that, It doesn't really necessarily have to do with terrain or anything, or weather patterns or anything like that. It just has to do with the land mass size there in Moore County. Yeah, we don't want the tornado fun in Moore County. And Stormy, that's a good name to have. I would figure you'd want the tornado fun, Miss Stormy, if you got that kind of name. You need to embrace the twisters there. For y'all in Franklin County, Alan, it's going to be a little bit longer. Y'all probably have another hour or two of this. We are great with no tornado fun. Yeah. So this tornado warning remains in effect for another 37 minutes here. Lynchburg, it has on the warning that it'll be the storm will enter Lynchburg around 12:20 a.m. So there's a lot of moderate to heavy rainfall coming down in Moore County, which is helping helping the atmosphere out a little bit. It might help weaken this storm a pretty good bit here, but I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this still. Not seeing anything too crazy. Let me go to storm relative velocity just to make sure. That's probably what I should have been looking at the whole time, but I'm still not seeing any crazy rotation signatures here with this storm coming over Lincoln County and eventually into Moore County. But again, if you're in Lincoln County, if you're in Moore County, you need to be taking your tornado precautions just to be on the safe side here, folks. Okay. So looking at the chat room, NWS chat room here, not seeing any reports of a tornado on the ground or anything like that. So that's good news. But they're going to keep this tornado warning going until 12:30. And they just updated the warning. So yeah, there's a new polygon. Still includes all of Moore County. So again, if you're in Moore County, we need to be taking our tornado precautions here. Lowest floor of your building or home. So whether that be a basement or just the first floor, in the center room and away from windows for my folks in Moore County. Miss Freya does have a good point here. I hope I'm saying your name right, but she said that a tornado did hit a few years ago in Ledford Mill area and went all the way to Tullahoma. And Ledford Mill is in Moore County. That's actually correct. That tornado dropped in Ross and moved through Ledford Mill and came across the Lowe's in Tullahoma and lifted right near a church on an old Manchester highway there, right outside of Tullahoma. Yeah, so Lynchburg has had a tornado somewhat recently with that storm. Was that 2022? I know it was in December. It might have been 2021. Yeah, I think it was December of 2021 when it was in like 7 o'clock in the morning. It was a very strange time for that tornado to hit, being there at around 7 o'clock in the morning. Is there still a rotation in the Taft area? Let me look here. I'm not. You'll have to help me out here with where Taft. Okay, I see Taft there on my map. I thought that's where it was, but we're going to look at the storm relative velocity here, and I'm not seeing any definite signs of rotation. Taft is getting in on the straight line winds. As the heavy rain starts to fall, straight line winds up to 60 miles per hour will be possible here with this tornado warning. And there might be with this latest scan here, there's a little bit more of a definitive signature here with the reds and greens. There might be a quick spin up, along this tornado warned storm here. So that's why I'm saying, if you're in Lincoln County or Moore County, you just need to be in your safe place and wait until this tornado warning passes. So, once again, if you are in Shelbyville, you are in the clear from this severe weather threat this evening. Manchester, you also should be good to go here, okay? The heavy rainfall that's falling in both Shelbyville and Manchester will keep us in the clear up that way, okay? So I'm basically right now just watching. Thank you very much. I'm going to take a quick water break here. I've I've been talking so much. I hadn't had very much water breaks. Yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been keeping a close eye on the comments here. I'm looking. Unionville is in the clear. Unionville is in the clear. Let me see. Yeah, the camera at the courthouse just came back on. I was just looking at that. That's our Bedford County EMA camera there in Shelbyville at the courthouse annex. But still just waiting for this tornado warned storm to get into Moore County here. Hillsboro, just a little bit longer here. Give me a little bit longer. Let me see what this tornado warned storm out of Moore County is going to do, okay? Tullahoma just needs to be on standby here. Tullahoma just needs to be on standby. There's no reason to be, in your tornado safe place if you are in the city limits of Tullahoma. This is a damaging wind. I'm sorry. My computer just went into do not disturb mode. I'm trying to turn that off real quick because it just turned midnight. It does that automatically. So there's a pretty good lightning strike there outside. Still watching, for areas of rotation here coming through central Moore County or Lincoln County. This storm is coming almost directly over 231 and 431 right now. So it'll be in Lynchburg here in the next 20 minutes or so. Yes, Manchester is in the clear. Channel 2 keeps tracking it east, then north, then east, then east again. Which way is it going? This is so frustrating. I agree with you, Crystal. I was watching some coverage earlier, and some of the storm tracks were a little puzzling. But according to the official National Weather Service warning text, this storm is moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. Okay? Northeast at 45 miles an hour. So, if we were to put a storm track on this, there's no definitive areas of rotation. So this is just a very general storm track to the northeast of 45 miles per hour. But this would be Mulberry about 10 minutes. And then Lynchburg is not, that's a big boomer there. Beach Hill, 21 minutes, and then Lynchburg would be about 20 minutes for the worst of the storm, too. You are getting a lot of heavy rainfall right now in Lynchburg. A lot of heavy rainfall. Yeah, Mr. John, I'm not seeing very much either. I'm definitely not seeing anything too crazy here in respect to any circulations. What about the lake area in Moore County? You definitely need to, be in your safe place if you were under the tornado warning, which is all of Moore County is under this tornado warning. It's better to be on the safe side, and take this tornado warning seriously, because something could spin up very quickly. Yeah, thundering bad in Shelbyville. I just heard that thunder pretty good. So yeah, if you're in Shelbyville, there's going to be lightning, there's going to be thunder, there's going to be rain for probably a good majority of the rest of the night. But the severe weather threat has ended in Shelbyville. Okay. War Trace and Bell Buckle are also in the clear. I guess I should have mentioned that earlier. Heavy rain in Fayetteville now. Miss Wanda, are you getting anything? Any strong winds, anything like that in Fayetteville? I'm just trying to get a good any reports I can get out of Lincoln County would help me with what to expect here in Moore County. Manchester, you're good to go for the rest of the night. Okay, you're going to have some lightning. You're going to have some lightning and some heavy rainfall, but Manchester is good to go. Tullahoma, you need to stick with me a little bit longer. Hillsborough, stick with me a little bit longer. Okay, Hillsborough and Tullahoma need to stick with me. Manchester should be good to go. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning here. You can see it in Bedford County. Showing up here in this stratiform rain region north of the tornado-warned storm. There's a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning occurring here in south central Bedford County. From Wheel all the way over to Normandy, there's some good cloud-to-ground lightning strikes happening right now as the tornado-warned storm passes to our south. Moore County is under a tornado warning. Let's get back down in here and look at the storm relative velocity, and still not seeing anything crazy. And we're fairly close to the Huntsville radar site, so we should be, if there was a pertinent circulation on the ground, we would be able to see it very, very well here in southern Lincoln County, and then of course this would be moving into Moore County, and I'm just not seeing it. But we still need to the rotation near Fayetteville continues to be of concern, according to the Weather Service in Huntsville. So the tornado warning will be allowed to continue. So they might be seeing something I'm not. I'm really just not seeing any crazy rotation here. But of course, again, like I've been saying, if you were in anywhere in Moore County, you need to be taking this tornado warning seriously and seeking shelter at least, because a tornado could spin up very quickly. We had that situation similar to that 2 weeks ago in Bedford County, and in the Longview area to the east of Unionville, there was a tornado that occurred with little notice. Normandy, stick with me just a little bit longer here. Just want to make sure we're riding this tornado warning out. Just to our south. I don't want to give a premature all clear here. But winds just picked up in Fayetteville. Thank you, Miss Wanda. Yes, so I'm actually going to draw from here just because that's the wrong tool. Sorry, it's 12:07 in the morning. We make mistakes around here sometimes. So 45 miles an hour moving to the northeast. So this would be Lynchburg. You have about 9 minutes, okay? Cumberland Springs, 16 minutes. This has Tullahoma, 23 minutes. And again, I think Tullahoma's might be a little bit too far to the north, but, I haven't given the all clear to Tullahoma yet, from this storm. Estill Springs, 24 minutes, Rutledge Falls. 30 minutes might be a little too far north there in Rutledge Falls too. But still continuing to keep a close eye on things here for southern Coffee County, and then of course all of Moore County here. Flat Creek, stick with me just a little bit longer here, okay? Wind has picked up in Lynchburg again, or a bit, thank you. Sounds like a mess near the high school in Shelbyville. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning and heavy rainfall happening in Shelbyville, but nothing of concern. Nothing of concern. So this is the storm relative velocity data here, which is looking at the spin and the storms, the reds and the greens, that they show on the TV all the time. This is that exact same stuff. And I mean, right now, this just looks like looks to me like a straight line wind threat more than anything. But this looks a lot better here. And there is a little circulation, I would say, right here coming. This will be along probably south of Moore County, but going to be riding that line right there pretty close around the Kelso area. And then there's also one more little circulation here. It's fairly weak, but this is the kind of night where weak circulations, would be able to come down pretty quickly. So if you are in Moore County, just take your tornado precautions. We have the tornado warning in effect. And this circulation in particular, again, it's not very strong, but we just need to keep a close eye on things here. This is actually directly over Mulberry. And even if you're not getting even if there's not a tornado on the ground in Mulberry, you're getting some probably 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts here. So this rotation is so weak, it's actually winds going the same direction, but it's just the winds like let me demonstrate this a little bit better for you. So you had these stronger winds. I'm using more wind vectors than, actually drawing the magnitude of the winds here with these arrows. But you had the really strong winds showing up on the radar. And then north of Mulberry, the winds are a little bit weaker. Still going the same direction towards the radar site, but they're a little bit weaker. So sometimes you can have little quick spin-up circulations form, especially when the winds are a little bit stronger going one direction, and then the winds, are a little bit weaker, but still going the same direction. Sometimes that could cause a little bit of a twist in the atmosphere, and is still considered wind shear. That's just, wind, that's speed shear, not wind direction shear. So, if you're in Mulberry, you're getting in on the worst of the storm now. Kelso is getting in on the worst of the storm too, over the next little bit. There's people commenting on my post saying, what about? But, if you're in here, I'm able to see your comments. Park City, you should be good to go for the rest of the night if you're in Park City. This tornado threat has exited the Park City area. Okay, so really stout storm coming here into Lynchburg. If you hadn't been sheltered yet in Lynchburg, now is the time to get to your tornado safe place. Blinding heavy rainfall. You're not going to be able to see this tornado if it's on the ground. The winds are going to be strong in Lynchburg. Right now, the worst of the winds are, over Mulberry, like I've been talking about. But they're, 2 or 3 minutes away from coming into downtown Lynchburg, Lois, along the 129 corridor, almost out to Boonville, in extreme northeastern Lincoln County. 129 kind of curves into Boonville and comes back into Moore County before going up on Chestnut Ridge there. So that's where the worst of the winds are occurring right now in Moore County. And then it's coming into Moore County, the southern part of Moore County, Liberty Hill and Lois, out of Lincoln County right now. So Mulberry, Kelso, places like that. And this the radar lags behind a little bit, excuse me. The radar lags behind a little bit. So again, this is probably not 100% accurate, in terms of exactly where the worst of the winds are right now, because this storm is moving at 45 miles per hour. So, it's probably probably moving a little bit quicker than that. Shelbyville is all clear for the night, yes. Manchester is all clear for the night. This is a Moore County threat, and Southern Coffee County is what I'm watching right now, okay? So, yes, Shelbyville is in the clear. That's for the rest of the night. The thunder is wild here in Lynchburg. I'm not sure. You'll have to help me out on where Gordon Neck Road is. I'm not sure where that is. I thought there was a search bar. Yeah, there is. Hold on. Yeah, Tullahoma. There's one in Sherwood too, but I can look at it here. So that's good to know. There's a search thing with this. Yeah, so y'all are right there on the edge of the tornado warning there on a Gordon Neck Road in northern Franklin County. But this storm is coming into central Lynchburg right now, and we'll see what the Weather Service in Nashville and Huntsville decides to do as this storm continues to push off to the northeast. So if you're in Lynchburg, you're getting the worst of the storm right now. Need to be in your tornado safe place if you're in Lynchburg. Pleasant Hill and Ridgeville are up next. This will be along Cobb Hollow Road, along State Route 82 from Flat Creek all the way down into Lynchburg. The worst of the storm is coming up on you right now. And then Tullahoma is going to be next up, especially between Tullahoma and Estill Springs, is going to be next up here for the worst of the storm. So, again, if you are in Lynchburg, Pleasant Hill, Ridgeville, Raysville, county line, the worst of the storm is coming through your area right now. Yeah, Fayetteville is good to go for the rest of the night. Chestnut Ridge area. Chestnut Ridge is the community of Chestnut Ridge is right here, but I know really Chestnut Ridge covers a lot of the Bedford-Moore County line. Across the southern border at least, but if you're in like what they would consider the town of Chestnut Ridge or whatever, along 231, then the worst of the storm is past you now. So it's moving off to the northeast fairly quickly. We're starting to gain a pretty good forward speed on this storm, I feel like. We're seeing. Let's go to the velocity data here. And not seeing anything crazy in terms of rotation. This is mostly a damaging wind threat, I feel like, for Lynchburg, but still take your tornado precautions there if you're in Moore County. And it looks like the Weather Service is going to let the tornado warning expire, and they will go with a severe thunderstorm warning for Franklin County, okay? So we still have a little bit of time here on this tornado warning in Moore County, but going into Franklin County, it looks like they're going to go with a severe thunderstorm warning, okay? In Tullahoma, the worst of the storm is coming to you right now in the next 2 to 3 minutes here, okay? So damaging wind gusts will be possible in Tullahoma. There's not a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now. There's not a warning in effect yet for Tullahoma or Southern Coffee County, but still, either way, you're going to have some frequent lightning and heavy rainfall move into Tullahoma in just a little bit. Highway 82 in Lynchburg, the worst of the storm is coming over you right now. This is just, right now it looks like just damaging straight line wind gusts to me. The tornadic circulations are not, I'm just not seeing much. Flat Creek, we're getting heavy rain and wind. Thank you for the report. Lots of wind in Pleasant Hill. Thank you for the report. Yeah, so I'm definitely not surprised with the strong wind gust reports I'm getting from Moore County. But and of course, we still need to be in our tornado safe place if we are in Moore County. Still need to be in our tornado safe place. There's not a warning in effect for Tullahoma. So I would say you are, you don't have to get in your tornado safe place, but I'm keeping a close eye, okay? Keeping a close eye. Yeah, so this storm is moving into extreme eastern Moore County at this time. So Motlow, Smith's Chapel, all the way down Cobb Hollow Road, that turns into Lincoln in Lincoln Street in Tullahoma. This storm is riding down Lincoln and 55 into downtown Tullahoma. But again, I'm not seeing much on the radar with the tornado threat, just strong wind gusts, in my opinion. Yeah, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm, but there is not a tornado warning. Or there's not a tornado warning in Franklin County. There's still a tornado warning in Moore County, but there is not a tornado warning in Franklin County right now, at least. Lightning and thunder is so bad in Shelbyville, Unionville. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of lightning going on, especially across southern Bedford County here. As this line of severe thunderstorms just barely skirts across, and tries to avoid our area. But here's the new tornado warning. So if you were in Chestnut Ridge, live along State Route 129 here, between Chestnut Ridge and downtown Lynchburg, you're good to go. You're in the clear now. From this tornado warning, you can come out of your safe place. If you're around Mulberry here in western Moore County, you are in the clear now from this tornado warning. So, and you're also all clear from the severe weather threat. Okay, we're just kind of walking through this strong line of storms here. But the severe weather threat has come to an end for my folks on Chestnut Ridge there. Or 231 kind of skirts across the county line between Lincoln and Moore. All 41A near Normandy just got a notification that a dangerous storm is approaching. Yeah, so a lot of times there are, news weather apps will be sponsored by a company called Barron. And Barron Weather, and they're actually out of Huntsville, and they have some algorithms that some of the news apps use, and the algorithm will go off when it thinks a dangerous storm is approaching, and that's just based off a computer algorithm. It doesn't necessarily mean that a warning is in effect or anything like that, but the computer thinks that there's something interesting. Yes, sir. I mean, there is a radar indicated tornado warning in effect for Moore County here. Continues to be in effect, but I think the bigger story here that people should be talking about with this, especially going into Franklin County will be the damaging wind gusts, because off the Huntsville radar site, we're getting some 60, 63, 64 mile per hour wind gusts here, showing up on the radar site moving into Franklin County. So if you're in Winchester, Cowan, Suwannee, down here in Sherwood and Tantalon and Monteagle, Estill Springs, I definitely wouldn't want to be outside, okay? But the tornado threat, at least, is limited, but still watching closely. All right. New severe thunderstorm warning is coming for Coffee and Grundy County for damaging wind gusts. So there is a new severe thunderstorm warning about to be issued. This will include Tullahoma, and this will include Hillsboro more than likely. Okay. So if you were in Hillsboro, Tullahoma, severe thunderstorm warning is about to come out. And this is for the line of storms here that's pushing into Tullahoma right now. So you can see right here, this is kind of where the worst of the storms are. And this will push off towards the northeast here and across southern Coffee County. But Coffee and Grundy are about to be under a severe thunderstorm warning. What's going on in Shelbyville right now? That's a great question. I think it's thundering a little bit, maybe some rain, but I don't think that we have anything to be concerned about. And Fayetteville did have a wind gust of 62 miles an hour as that severe thunderstorm warning came through. So they went really big with this severe thunderstorm warning here, and actually went for Manchester. So Manchester is included in this severe thunderstorm warning again. But I already gave the all clear to Manchester, and I feel like it really is okay, especially the tornado threat is fine. But just if you're coming back on here from Manchester wondering why in the world did he tell me I was safe to go to bed, don't shoot the messenger here. I'm just trying to let y'all get some good sleep. But I think the severe thunderstorm warning is a little too far north, but definitely, if you're in Tullahoma, you're getting you're about to get the worst of the storm right now. Lots of cloud to ground lightning, all the way down from Normandy to Ross into downtown Tullahoma. Lots of cloud to ground lightning strikes here occurring in Tullahoma with this severe thunderstorm, and you're going to get some potentially damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour here. Over the next little bit. And then Arnold Air Force Base in Hillsboro will be up next here with this severe thunderstorm warning. So let me go ahead and draw this out. This is moving off to the northeast. I should have looked at how fast this was moving. Okay, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour through Coffee County. So we're going to go ahead and push this on out. And also, if you were in Moore County, the tornado warning has been canceled, and you are free to come out of your safe place. Okay, you are free to come out of your safe place if you are in Moore County. Yes, the tornado threat is gone for Moore County. Moore County is actually in the clear, okay? So if you're in Bedford or Moore County, the tornado threat, severe weather threat is done, okay? The tornado and severe weather threat is done for Bedford and Moore County, okay? So let's go ahead and look at some of the locations that will be impacted by the worst of this line of strong to severe storms over the next few minutes. So Tullahoma, you have 1 minute. You have 1 minute in Tullahoma. Hillsboro, 18 minutes. Um, and then Stephenson, 20 minutes. I guess that's a community in Coffee County there. I'm not. It's not as cool as Fudge Around. I like Fudge Around better, but Fudge Around's not in this warning, so we can't really talk about them. Um, but the severe weather threat is over for Bedford County. The severe weather threat is over for Moore County. Okay, so you are good to go to bed if you were in Moore County. If you were in Bedford County, the severe weather threat has come to an end. We're just watching this severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for another 45 minutes here for especially southern Coffee County, okay? Manchester, New Union, Summitville, Tullahoma, Hillsboro, Asbury um, are all included. Arnold Air Force Base, all included in this severe thunderstorm warning. But I believe the main threat is really going to be from Tullahoma to just south of Manchester and over for damaging straight line winds. This is not a. I'm not seeing any tornado threat. Not seeing any tornado threat right now, but still keeping a close eye. Okay. Bedford County has also been cleared from the tornado watch. So how about that? The tornado watch has been canceled for Bedford County. So again, if you're in Bedford County, you're good to go to bed. Watch out for some isolated flooding issues overnight tonight as we continue to have some some moderate to heavy rainfall move through the area. But the tornado threat, severe weather threat, has come to an end in Bedford and Moore County. Any tornadoes around Bluegill Grill? No, just some heavy rainfall and gusty winds. The line around 345. I don't see a line coming through at 345. I'm not sure where that information's coming from, but I don't think our severe weather threat or our severe weather threat has diminished greatly. Okay, because if you look at the temperatures, I mean, 64 over 64, that's not horrible for severe weather, but our atmosphere is pretty worked over from the thunderstorms we've had today. Now let me look and see if I can find this second line that you're talking about here, because I'm not really seeing it, or I hadn't heard anything about it. But I've also been staring at this computer screen for the past hour and a half, so it's hard for me to know what's going on in the outside world sometimes when I'm staring at this thing for so long. So Tullahoma, it's over top of you right now. It's about to come over UT Space Institute. So we're going to watch this camera here. This is just south of Tullahoma, along Woods Reservoir. So we're going to watch this for just a second, and I am going to go use the bathroom real quick. I need a bathroom break. But again, if you're in Bedford or Moore County or in the clear, just watching Southern Coffee County here with this line of severe storms, and we're watching the UT Space Institute camera here as this line of storms comes through Estill Springs. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. So we're watching this line of storms here. The worst of it should be coming by the UT Space Institute right now. And again, this is along Woods Reservoir in Franklin County. So you can see the wind is blowing pretty good. Horizontal wind. We're 11 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour. There was a gust to 22. I must have been in the restroom still. And there's a gust to 22. So this gives a good idea of what, people in Coffee County can expect here. Thank you. Keeping a close eye on stuff here. Around Highway 55 on the Moore Coffee border, excuse me. Pretty loud right now. Thank you for the report, Courtney. Lots of rain and thunder on 127 in Hillsboro. Thank you, Mr. Ronald. I'm looking at the chat room here. Tullahoma is good to go, especially if you're in downtown Tullahoma, okay? So the worst of the storm is with the heavy rainfall and potential for some 60-plus mile per hour gusts, is moving over Arnold Air Force Base and into Hillsboro over the next 5 to 10 minutes here. Miss Tammy might have already went to bed, but this is coming to you next, Miss Tammy there in Hillsboro. There's a wreck on I-24 exit or not exit mile marker 107 westbound. Just by the way, thank you, Trey, for that report. So there is a wreck on I-24 westbound at mile marker 107 there in Coffee County. Just to give everyone a heads up on that if you're traveling on I-24 right now. Manchester, you're getting a little bit of heavy rainfall, but I really think that the severe wind gusts are going to be with the worst of the rain here. Especially into Franklin County, but I definitely could see some stronger wind gusts over towards Arnold Air Force Base in Hillsboro here along the 127 corridor over the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and look at the UT Space Institute camera again just to see, if anything is going on here. Yeah, so we're, 6-7 mile an hour wind gusts. I think the worst of the winds have passed over the camera already. We did have a 15 mile an hour gust. I guess that's it's not really impressive in my opinion, but So Hillsboro, just be prepared for some gusty winds here in a little bit. Tullahoma is in the clear for the rest of the night. Yes, Tullahoma is in the clear. Winchester, you're getting the worst of it right now. Cowan is about to get the worst of it too. Oh, hold on, my iPad is messing up here. I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. I can see the pictures again, or the chat again. Normandy, good. You're good to go in Normandy. Okay. Bedford County and Moore County are in the clear from the severe weather threat. Bedford and Moore County are in the clear. Estill Springs, you're going through the worst of it right now. Okay? Rutherford County has been in the clear for a while now. Rutherford County is good to go. Manchester, you're just getting some heavy rainfall, maybe some lightning too, but I don't see anything to be concerned about in Manchester, okay? I don't see anything to be concerned about, but just stick with me a little bit longer here, and we'll give the all clear here in just a little bit. But I definitely think the severe weather threat is beginning to wind down here across our three counties, especially Bedford, Coffee, and Moore. Our severe weather threat is winding down. Tullahoma is good. Yes, Tullahoma is clear. Pelham, you have a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts being possible, which is the reason that I'm still alive right now, is because of sorry, I had to take another sip of water. Manchester, just stick with me for a couple more minutes here. No, this is the only severe weather threat. We're done with the storms. Done with the severe weather, at least. We'll still going to be dealing with some, strong wind gusts and, or not strong wind gusts, excuse me, some lightning and heavy rainfall overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. But the worst of the weather will come to an end here over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. Now, I do want to show y'all I'll go down here to Franklin County. This is probably the biggest swath of strong wind gusts I've seen in a while. And the EMA camera might be picking up pretty good on it. There in Franklin County. But anyway, the Huntsville radar site is picking up some 60, 65 mile per hour winds. And this is pretty close to the radar. They're at High Top, Alabama, and right down State Route 16. And that's coming through Belvedere right now, and will continue to push off towards the southeast, and eventually onto the Cumberland Plateau, and might dip back down here between Sherwood and Anderson, over the next 20 minutes or so. But that's definitely where the worst of the winds I'm seeing are right now. This little bright blue 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts, area I'm seeing on the radar here in Belvedere between Huntland and Winchester on US 64. So that's the worst of the storm that I'm seeing right now. Let me go back to the reflectivity view. Manchester, you're almost done for. You're almost done. Hillsboro's getting in the worst of the getting in on the worst of the heavy rainfall right now and gusty winds. Arnold Air Force Base, much of the same there, and also up towards Asbury too, in eastern Coffee County. So there's little Asbury right there north of Hillsboro. So just continuing to monitor. I don't see anything too crazy right now. Besides that, the swath of 60 mile per hour winds there in Belvedere. I mean, there's probably a few damage reports going to come out of there, and tree damage, stuff like that. It's not a tornado or anything, but definitely some very strong straight line winds there in Franklin County. just south of the US 64 corridor now in Belvedere. That's a great question, Miss Alice. So, what got me interested in being a meteorologist? Um, Really, what got me interested, it started out as a fear of storms when I was a kid. I used to be, you know, really afraid of storms. Had bad storm anxiety, but just what I would watch the Weather Channel, and we would have, big time severe weather events when I was in elementary school. We had the April 27th, 2011 tornado event. I remember watching the Tuscaloosa EF4 tornado come through live on the Weather Channel. So just watching severe weather events and coverage of storms on from the Weather Channel really got me interested in meteorology, and that fascination from that started out as being fearful of storms turned into a fascination, and I haven't looked back since then. And then you asked how long a school or how much long a school do you have? So I've been in school for 4 years now, or yeah, I guess it's been 4 years. It's a long time, but I have four more weeks, 4 more weeks to go, and I'll be graduating on May 5th. So I'm very very excited. Channel 2 showing possible rotation in Elkton. Have you been keeping an eye on Channel 2 at all? Okay. Moore County does not need to worry. No, there's no other threat of severe weather in Moore, Bedford, or Coffee after this line clears through Hillsborough. Not sure where there was rotation in Elkton earlier, Miss Freya, but the severe weather threat has ended for Moore County now, which is good news. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's back to regular programming now in Tullahoma. Grundy County, you were under a severe thunderstorm warning. Altamont, Pelham are under the warning. Tracy City as well, and Mont Eagle are under this severe thunderstorm warning for 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts. And the worst of the storm is coming into Pelham as we speak, and also Hillsborough right along the 127 corridor. Oh, that was earlier regarding Channel 2. Okay. Yeah. Lynchburg is back under a tornado watch. Yeah, Lynchburg has been under the tornado watch for a while now. They've been under a tornado watch for a while, but they'll cancel the counties. As the line continues to push off, they're not going to keep us under one for no reason. And I give an advanced all clear sometimes before a lot of the news stations do, just because I have I have the knowledge and expertise of watching the weather to, I feel like that I'm capable enough of giving the all clear a little bit in advance of what other media outlets or, other people might be comfortable in doing. So just, yeah, this is the only round of storms is this one here. Huntland and Franklin County, yes, y'all are good to go down there. The severe thunderstorm warning has actually been canceled for Huntland, and the severe thunderstorm warning has been trim back. So if you're in Summitville or Manchester, you are all clear for the rest of the night. Really, everyone in Coffee County but Hillsborough is all clear right now. Everyone but Hillsborough. Warren County. Sorry, I didn't mean to zoom in there. Severe thunderstorm warning for south of Highway 55 and west of Highway 56. So Viola is really the only community. Mount Zion, Viola. I don't know how to say whatever this one is. I'll let y'all. I really don't know how to say that. But whatever that community is under it too in Warren County. But McMinnville, not a big threat. Centertown, Morrison, the big towns in Warren County aren't included. Just really Viola down there in the southern part of Warren County there near the Coffee and Grundy County line. Fayetteville is in the clear. Fayetteville is in the clear. No, there will be no second. So I posted an update earlier today that had this is the second round. The round of storms that is coming through right now. The round of storms that is coming through right now is round number 2. Okay, so we're done with the severe weather threat after this line passes, and it already has passed. If you're in Bedford County, you're in the clear. If you're in Moore County, you're in the clear. We're going to have lightning, a little bit of lightning, and moderate rainfall the rest of the night. But the severe weather threat is coming to an end fairly quickly. Yes, Fayetteville is in the clear. Why did we get another warning? There's no warning. No warnings in effect. Or no new warnings, as far as I'm concerned. Just looking around. We're almost done here, folks. Almost done. I mean, I'm probably going to stay on another 5 minutes or so here. Okay. Well, Huntsville just put out a tornado warning for Franklin County. So this is not for Moore County. Moore County is in the clear, like I was saying. But if you kind of thought it was weird, the notch here, but this is between Swanee and Sherwood along State Route 56. Cowan is included in the warning, but the worst of the storms have passed you. Yeah, there's a bulge right there, and there's a very good chance that, and of course the data from High Top is horrible right there. I can't even see anything. Anyway, yeah, so they're gonna push this tornado warning out towards Morristown's area and Marion County, I think, and Sequatchie County maybe. In that would be considered East Tennessee, I guess, technically. But yeah, that's pushing out very quickly. But if you're in Swanee, if you're in Sherwood, just take your tornado precautions to be on the safe side. But here locally, the severe weather threat is ending very quickly. So let me set the record straight for, because I've had a couple people ask me, and it's a good question, why did Moore County get another watch? So Moore County, the watch expires at 3 a.m. And every time that the Weather Service in Huntsville cancels an additional county, you're going to get a new alert on your phone that says tornado watch until 3 a.m. So as they clear counties to the west, like where Florence, Alabama is, and, places out there in Limestone County, Alabama, I think they canceled the watch too. Every time they cancel a new county from the watch, they continue to... they'll continue to send you an alert. But the severe weather threat has ended for Moore County. I mean, if you want to stay up, and watch it just to be safe, then you go right ahead. But I'm going to be going to bed. Yeah, no problem, Destiny. Yeah, that was a good question. Thank you for asking that. Because that's a good thing to talk about. So, yes, tornado warning for Franklin County. It includes Suwannee and Sequatchie County, and also southern Grundy County is also included in this warning. There's 3 NWS offices that there's 3 NWS offices that meet up right here. And all 3 of them have a different tornado warning box out. Huntsville's right here, and then Morristown is right here, and then Nashville is right here. And they're all 3 different boxes because they're different coverage areas, but they all show up right there together, which is cool. But for us here locally, the severe weather threat has come to an end. The severe weather threat has come to an end for Bedford, Coffee, and Moore County. Winchester, you're good to go. But Winchester is good to go. The only people that need to be concerned in Franklin County are Suwannee and Sherwood, and that's only for the next 5 minutes or so. Okay. But the severe weather threat is quickly ending in Franklin County as well. So if you're in Bedford, Coffee, or Moore, you are now in the clear from the severe weather threat. And I'm going to be signing off because I am super tired. I can feel myself going cross-eyed and my head hurts very badly from staring at this small computer screen all night. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in for this extended coverage over the past few hours here of this severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warnings for Bedford, Coffee, and Moore counties, but we are in the clear. So Bedford, Coffee, and Moore counties are in the clear from the severe weather threat tonight, and I will make a post real quick here before I go to bed with an update. So thank you guys for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed rest of the morning.